Hi, everyone. My name is Jesse Robbins, and welcome to LPLE from Dialogue FM. We're the podcast that lets you practice listening in English. We speak English slowly and clearly so that you can follow along and understand native English speakers more easily. I'm excited to help you improve your English listening skill, as well as help you learn new vocabulary, grammar, and idioms commonly heard in conversations among native English speakers. If you want to practice listening in English, then we invite you to join our conversation. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jesse.
Happy Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you for telling me because it slipped my mind completely quite some time ago.
Well, that's part of the conversation today. If you are on social media, like on Facebook or Instagram, or even if you're reading the news, your CNN, your BBC, chances are that you will come across an article related to International Women's Day. You will find many comments celebrating International Women's Day. Jane, the key word in that phrase is international, right? Because I'll speak from experience. Women's Day was never really on our calendar.
Not in any big way. We know about it from reading the news. I knew it was coming up soon, but had completely spaced it out. I'm sure, especially with the current political situation, I do know that women are meeting and so on because of concern over women's issues, which may be in trouble under the new administration. But it is never a day that I have celebrated. I've never intentionally gotten together with other women or anything.
If we look at our calendar, like our actual physical calendar, we might receive a calendar as a gift. Years ago, before we used calendars on our smartphones, we might receive a beautiful calendar to hang in our wall. We might receive a calendar from our school with important dates.
Exactly.
When I think back to the calendars that I received as a kid and as a student, I never saw the day Women's Day. Now, Jane, in your hand, you have a calendar. You have a schedule. Is it in there?
It's not. But a day like Thanksgiving would be here, or sometimes even Mother's Day, but Women's Day is not here.
That's so weird. That's another example of how American culture can be very different from the rest of the world. I remember when I lived in Vietnam for 10 months. People were celebrating Women's Day. People were buying their mothers, their girlfriends, their teachers, their bosses, their coworkers. People were buying flowers and chocolates. It's almost similar to Valentine's Day in that regard. And it was very strange to me. It was very new. it's interesting how the rest of the world wants to celebrate women, but it's only until recently in America that we started to do that. I mean, do you have any thoughts on why that might be?
It's hard. I'm sure that someone could write a doctoral dissertation about this question. So anything that I say would be speculation. I don't really know. I may have mentioned to you before that when I lived in Romania for 1 year, I was very surprised and pleased when I saw that there was a special day, March 1st, which involved honoring women in a very friendly way, not in a political way. And every street corner had someone selling these tiny objects made of most anything, but they all had a red and white string attached. And this was to give to women. I'm not sure whether it was for men to give to women or whether women gave it to each other. But I thought it was very nice. The only equivalent we have here is Mother's Day. I wonder two things. In America, are we so, are we so dishonest with ourselves that we believe women are completely equal to men and so they shouldn't have a special day? Or is it just the opposite, that we are unconsciously still a misogynistic culture which doesn't really value women as much as men? I don't know.
Well, I'll say that it was really nice to see other countries celebrating International Women's Day. Let's look at the opposite. We are wondering why in America we don't openly acknowledge International Women's Day. Usually it's recognized on a social level, not on a national level.
Ah, yes.
Not on a formal level like President's Day or Veterans Day or Labor Day. It's not formally recognized in America. However, abroad, I can say with some strong, high level of confidence that gender inequality in places like Vietnam and Japan is still pretty high.
In Romania also, I think.
There are many places where it's even more male-focused. You used the word misogynistic. Another word is patriarchal.
Yes.
Right? So
yes.
Basically, male-controlled, male-dominated society.
Yes.
It was funny thinking about celebrating International Women's Day in a place like Vietnam. Very beautiful country, very beautiful society, a rich history. However, also very male-dominated. So maybe the flip side is there are plenty of reasons to focus on International Women's Day because the gender inequality is very different than us. Now, that's not to say that America is perfect. We are not. We still have a lot of gender inequality.
Yes.
However, compared to other places, I feel like we're getting better. Hopefully we're getting better. We should still celebrate International Women's Day. It's a fantastic idea, and much like my opinion about Valentine's Day, we should be showing love and romance to each other every day of the year. We should be celebrating women and their contributions to our lives every day of the year. But I can probably see why there's more emphasis on International Women's Day in other countries where gender inequality is much more difficult.
I think I can see that side also. And of course, the question arises, why not have an International Men's Day? And if you look at it that way, the fact that there is a Women's Day indicates something a little patronizing, a little bit the idea of, well, let's thank the women for their contribution.
Let's give them a day.
Yes,
You're right.
Yes. Now, in my mind, if we get to a day where we have International Men's Day, then we're getting somewhere. For two reasons. One would be because men deserve to be celebrated also. And second, because it probably would indicate that the equality was closer if we had a day for each gender.
Do you think that let's use America as an example. Do you think we'll ever have a Men's Day here?
Well, somebody would have to decide to make it happen.
That brave person.
It might be a woman, in fact.
Yeah,
but
it might have to be a woman.
Yeah.
I definitely do not see a male leader recommending that we have a National Day of Men or celebrating men.
Who started International Women's Day? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head. I want to look at the computer. I am resisting the temptation to look right now, mainly because I'm worried that it would mess up the recording. But yes, that's something I'll look up when I get home today. Nevertheless, today is International Women's Day. We want to wish all the women in our listening audience a very happy and celebratory International Women's Day. We hope that not just today, but every day, you are receiving the recognition and, more importantly, the respect that you deserve. Hopefully, we will come to a time in our life, not just in America, but in the world, where International Women's Day may no longer be needed because we have reached a level of equality. Or maybe the same way, maybe an International Men's Day might be introduced. But to your point, Jane, the fact that we have International Women's Day is a good reminder of a couple of things. Number one, we as a global society can easily forget the contributions that women have made in our life and in our society throughout history. 2, it's a friendly reminder that we have a lot of work left to do, both men and women, in terms of reaching equal rights and equal respect for one another. So happy Women's Day, and let this be a friendly reminder to keep fighting for that level of equality. Thank you for listening to this episode of LPLE. Let's practice listening in English from Dialogue FM. Subscribe to LPLE on iTunes to hear the latest episodes, or listen to past episodes on our website, dialogue.fm. That's dialog.fm. If you have questions or comments about English, or if you would like for us to use a word, grammar, or idiom in our conversation so you can learn how to use it correctly, we would love to hear from you on Twitter at dialogue.fm or Facebook at facebook.com/dialoguefm.